New York, big city of dreams. New York, big city of dreams.
What's going on? This is Jay Ellis from the Knick Of Time Show. Here to give you that Knicks talk just in the nick of time. And it's time to talk about a Knicks lost in preseason. The Knicks lost to the Timberwolves 121-112 with a few standout performances and a lot of storylines to talk about. First of all, RJ Barrett continues on his rampage and gives you 23 points, 2 steals, 2 assists, and 2 rebounds. Evan Fournier makes his case for Tom Thibodeau to play him more minutes, or he's just upping his trade value, and gives you 15 points and 4 rebounds. Miles McBride brings the power of the G League to the NBA preseason and gives you 16 points. And the Knicks end up losing to the Timberwolves in preseason. We're going to talk about it all, the good, the bad, and the ugly. But before we do that, hit that like button for the culture. Hit that subscribe button as well. And always join us for post-game shows after every Knicks game, all right? So we're going to get to it. But before we get to it, you might notice there's a new face here. And we are going to introduce the newest and truest for KOT. Welcome to the squad. Ebony, what's going on, Evan?
Thank you for letting me join. I can't wait to talk Knicks with you guys.
Exactly.
Definitely.
For real. And of course, you already know it's the man, the myth, the legend, the guy with the stats and the facts.
Ryan G is in the building.
Let's get to it. All right, Knicks Nation. Oh, wait, before we get to it, let's see. What's up, chat? What's going on, chat? What's going on, chat? Yeah, coming through. All right, let's get to it. All right, Knicks basketball, Knicks Timberwolves, we lost, but I want to throw the alley-oop to the newest and truest. Ebony, man, what do you think of the game? What did you think of the preseason game today?
I love what I see for a couple of people. You know, it got ugly at the end, but you can expect that. I loved RJ. RJ is looking very strong. He's looking to make the bucket, not just get to the free throw line. He's looking to finish also. So I'm excited to see that during the season. I thought Mitch played dominant. He made Rudy Gobert look small to me, and also Cat made him look like a cutie.
He was a kitten today. He was a $50,000 million kitten today. Yeah.
Yes, he was. Didn't even jump one of those that one play. I think what else? Evan, like you said, Evan Fournier I think he's upping his trade value. I don't think he gets much burn, and maybe situational minutes where you need a sniper, maybe, but I don't think he. I think he's playing for another team, auditioning for another team. And Miles McBride, man, Miles McBride. I think I see leaps from everybody, so I'm not gonna hog it up, but I just like the development of our guys.
I agree. Miles McBride showed me something today. He showed me the G League version that we all know and love. Ryan G, what did you think about the game today before I start to really get in on this?
Yeah, like Ebony said, I think for me the bright spot today was RJ Barrett. I'm definitely liking what I'm seeing from him in preseason so far. You know, strong drive to the basket, finishing at the rim, you know, drawing fouls, getting to the line, and the fact he's knocking in his free throws, that's a very positive sign as well. Knocked in, I think, a couple of threes. So, you know, that's a positive sign right there as well. Hopefully that carries over to the regular season. Fournier definitely played well also, knocking in threes. I thought he was a good contributor today. I don't know what his prospects are, you know, to play this season, but I think he's making a good, you know, case for himself to at least get some type of minutes going into the regular season. And a guy I want to talk about too is Dante DiVincenzo, because today defensively, like he was on it, like he was picking pockets like crazy. My man was out there saying cookies all that second quarter, just stripping people and getting easy fast break points. So definitely I big up Dante as well. Good defender, quick hands, you know, good recovery defense as well. But overall, I mean, despite the fact that Knicks lost tonight, there's a lot of positive to take out of the game.
Yeah, this is one of those games you can't take too seriously because it's the preseason game and because the fourth quarter was pretty much garbage time for both teams. So this is just an evaluation game. So I'm not down on this loss or anything. You're really just looking for improvement from year to year, and you're really looking to see what these guys were working on in the offseason and if they're bringing it into this new season. And that brings me to RJ Barrett, who we said this last show as well, came off a strong campaign in the postseason for the Knicks, had a strong showing in FIBA, and he's continuing to do that in preseason today. But for me, when I'm looking at RJ, I'm telling you the truth. I love RJ. Anything RJ show me right now, I'm not believing it until the season happens, okay? I've seen this movie before. I've seen where he comes out in preseason last year. He's lighting up from three, starts the season off over 25. You know?
One thing we got to give him, though, maybe hoping that I'm giving him is FIBA.
Yes.
Maybe it jump starts him. I'm hoping that jump starts him because he does come out low every season.
No, I agree. They already said in FIBA that you usually average 2 more points a game once you play in FIBA. So hopefully that holds true for RJ. He averaged 20 points a game last season, so that can up it to 22. You know, 22 is looking all-star-ish. You know what I mean? So if we keep it to 22 and then we get those percentages up, then we might be talking. But I'm still waiting to see if that carries over. But I loved what I saw from RJ today, and what I really loved was the force he played with. I think he did not shy away from contact at all. I think this is the most aggressive I've seen him play, with initiating contact, leaning into the shoulder, creating ball plays. You create space first to get the defense at a disadvantage and put the ball up. I felt like he was doing all of that today, and that's not usually what he does. And he leaned into that today, and he was able to go to the line, hit most of his three throws. Last game, he was 9 for 9. Today, what was he today?
He was 9 for 12.
9 for 12 today. So the percentages are looking great. And if he keeps on that trajectory, we're looking good for an uptick from RJ. But I love what I saw from RJ today. And the decision making too. Like, I feel like, he's been passing better than these past 2 games. The decision making has been great. It's just about the jump shot. It's really just about the jump shot.
Yes, and he pulled up that jump shot in transition.
Yes,
I was like, okay, go ahead, RJ. I was like, go ahead, RJ.
Yes, when he pulled the midi in transition, and when Anthony Edwards laid off, I fell in love for a second. I was like, wait a minute now. He's enforced the issue. You took what the defense gave you, hit the jump shot in transition. Oh, I was loving it.
And the touch, I saw the touch.
Yes,
I saw it.
The touch.
I saw it.
Yo, I even loved when Anthony Edwards is on him on the right. Like, he's by the 3-point line, and he's like, you know what? I'm just gonna bully boy you. Now, he didn't make it, but he went to the hole, got to the line, and that's what I really wanted to see, because to me, RJ, I said this year 1, he has to be in that post to me. He's so strong. He doesn't have that wiggle that these quicker 2 guards have. He doesn't have that type of athleticism, but he has strength. So when you have strength, you got to play to your strength. And that's playing bully ball, and that's taking these soft dudes to the post and getting to work. First game, you saw him do a drop step in preseason. Now he took Anthony Edwards to the post and got to the line. If we're gonna go ISO RJ in some games and slow it down and take advantage of some of the passing that I saw when he came in the league when he first came in the league, I think we need to take advantage of RJ in the post a little bit and getting that low mid-range game going for him, and I think we'd be good.
Yeah. Yes, facts. I remember one of the plays where he had the alley-oop to Mitch.
Yeah.
And you could see the chemistry and just, the game slowing down for everybody, them reading things better.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. The chemistry with Mitch was phenomenal, on point. But yeah, kudos for RJ, man. Really, really good game. Hold on. Shout out to Jason M. I see you talking about Mitch. I see you talking about Mitch. Hold on, shout out to the chat.
I
Shout out
gotta
to
go.
Jason and Roberto Rivera Jr., Fritz
I gotta go
Alessandro.
to the chat.
Oh, yeah.
They're talking about Mitch.
They talking bad about him? Hold on. Oh, yeah, no, they talking good
I
about him.
don't
They talking
know.
good about him. If you
Yeah,
did
they're
not know,
talking
Ebony is a
about
Mitch fan. Ebony is a Mitch
yeah.
fan. You almost triggered us. She's about to
My
smack
God.
people in the chat.
Facts.
It's cool, Ebony. It's all love. It's all love. But we this is the Mitch love section of this pod. I don't know if Ebony, you want to get into the Mitch and why you love him so much in this game.
Mitch just he's got. Remember last game? I mean, last year he put on the muscle, he put on the strength, and he couldn't move. Y'all remember that?
Yeah.
He just couldn't he couldn't move. So then he had to come back to size. This year it looks more organic, like, and he can still be Mitch. And now he's bullying people off blocks. You see, he didn't jump with the cat, like I said. He didn't even jump, just grabbed it and went up on hit Cat. And I think Rudy was down there. I'm not even sure. It just might have been Cat at that time.
Yeah.
But even with Rudy, it was a time where Rudy would, muscle him around a little bit and get the rebounds over him. Not anymore. He made Rudy a non-factor. It's preseason, but it's a good sign. It's a good sign.
Yo, that is a good point.
And the fact that he erases so many mistakes. Our perimeter defense is not the best at times, and he erases that a lot. He does all the dirty things well.
Nah, absolutely. Ryan, you got anything to add?
Yeah, Mitch was definitely on his bully today. He was definitely a beast today. It's just the fact that, like, Minnesota's a team. Minnesota's a big team. They have a lot of bigs on that team, and the fact that Mitch was able to, like, bully whatever big was in the paint, whether it was Cat, whether it was Gobert, it doesn't matter. It didn't matter who was in the paint. Like, Mitch found a way to grab the boards and either put back for the easy basket on the offensive end or grab the defensive boards. So Mitch definitely showed his worth tonight on the rebounding and on the defensive end as well. Mitch, like I said, this dude has definitely developed his time with the Knicks. And there was this one play where I'm like, yo, Mitch think he's slick, and I realized what he's trying to do, because there was a play, I think, where Shake Milton went to the basket, and Mitch acted like as if he was going to be late on that, just so Shake can go with the layup. He got the goaltending on it, but I saw what
Play possum. Yep.
He's trying to fake it into the shot so he can block it.
Yo, add those stats. Nah, man, Mitch, listen.
Yeah.
I am so tired of hearing about Cat to the Knicks, and we gonna get to that later, but this is why it's Mitch Appreciation Day right now. We've had a lot of conversations about having stretch fives on this program. And rightfully so, I get it. But man, if you really think about it, every time, at least in the last season, right, the 2022-23 season, Mitch has gone up against a stretch five we wanted. He smacked them. And he's outplayed them like 9 times out of 10. And Cap today scored more points, but what was his plus minus? It was on the negative. What happened when Mitch was put on Cat? Made him look like a kitten. Did you see when Cat went up and Mitch pinned his shot to the board? Did you see that? Did you see Cat try to shoot over Mitch from the 3-point line? What did it do? Nothing. Mitch be shutting these stretch fives down, though. Like, his impact is irreplaceable for what we do on his teams. Mitch is so overrated. Underrated.
Yes.
Underrated. So, I do feel the need to have a stretch five here, but man, it'll be rough not to have Mitch here to clean up all these mistakes we have. It would be extremely rough.
My thing with Mitch is I thought iHeart when iHeart got here, that was what everybody was saying. So that's why I was cool with him coming because I was really looking forward to seeing Sims grow and see what he can grow into maybe, So iHeart came and I'm like, well, that gives us another look. So depending on how a team plays, because he's supposed to be, a 3-point threat or have a better jump shot than Mitch or a better offensive game,
Right.
period. So I thought it could have been like a complete center together, like depending on.
Ebony, you're muted.
You're muted.
All right. Sorry. If you need um a rim protector, somebody to shut the paint down, somebody to get you extra.
Oh, you muted again. You was cooking. You was cooking. Hold on.
You can go to iHeart. Mitch, if you need somebody to maybe be a point forward or point center type of person,
Right.
you can go iHeart. So I think they make the perfect center together.
Nah, I agree. They're interchangeable. And when it comes to Mitch, right? Mitch is the guy when you really have those burly, long centers, he's going to hold you down. He's going to be that guy who's going to play defense. And then when you need to switch up the style, like we saw today, now this is time to get into the Hartenstein part of the program. You have my man, young Joakim Noah over here diming people up. And you can switch up the style and it still works.
I like he even got into bully ball today. I seen a little post move from him. Went straight into was it Gobert?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yo, he get Gobert a headbutt. He was like, move out the way, lay up. I was like, lay. I was like, yes.
Yeah.
Yo, Hartenstein. Yo, let's get into that. Let's get into that, Ryan, man. What do you think of Hartenstein's game today? Because when I'm looking at Hartenstein, I feel like Tibbs has gotten used to what he's good at, and he's starting to implement it more into the Knicks system. What do you think?
Yeah, I think one of his biggest attributes that stands out is his passing. Like he's an excellent passer. That one pass he made to RJ Barrett was cutting to the basket on the baseline was nasty.
Between two players?
Yeah.
That was nasty.
He's a nasty passer. And I think the one part of his game that he doesn't show much is his 3-point shot. And just to see him knock down a 3 from the corner was definitely a bright spot as well. And I'm hoping that going into the season, he will shoot more threes, just to provide that threat.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, besides that, I mean, iHeart, he's like the perfect backup center for the Knicks. Like, he provides like good passing, good play the offense through him at times. He defends, he rebounds, and hopefully can knock in the 3.
Right.
He's going to be a viable asset to the Knicks going forward.
Nah.
Mm-hmm.
Jason M says, kill the stretch 5 talk. There's only 4 or 5 good stretch 5s in the NBA. Yeah, it's crazy because you're right. Like, there's only 4 or 5 of them. And sometimes, like, the defense or either the defense or rebounding from those stretch 5s are so lacking that it kind of shoots you in the foot on the other side of the ball. And that was my problem with Cat, even though Cat's like not really a 5 anymore because he kind of just wimped out playing the 5. But here's the thing. I think the Knicks, and I said this before, I think the Knicks brought Hartenstein here because they knew they wanted a diversified center, and they knew they wanted somebody who could hit threes, and they saw he could hit threes with the Clippers. But they also knew he gave you some rim protection, and that's something that Tom Thibodeau wanted. And I think they brought him here with the intention of having him be that, like, stretch 5 for us at time, even though he's been scared to shoot threes. You know what I mean? I think that's what they was intending to do. But yeah,
I agree.
Yeah, you agree?
Yeah, I mean, nobody's asking him to shoot like 5-6 threes a game. Nobody's asking that, but I mean, to knock down the occasional 3.
Yeah.
I don't see no issue with that.
Let's give us 2.
That's why when he was on his, like I said, his Ruben Studdard, his I'm Sorry tour, I was like, I was like, dag, because I heard all about this guy with the passing and the shooting. I'm like, where is he? Even on defense, the defense wasn't up to par during a part of the season, but to see him, the turnaround he's made, he is definitely the perfect backup for our team and what we need. And I did see something new with the Knicks with our iHeart off the top that they're going backdoor, that they're even trying to do that backdoor cut. I don't remember much of that during last season, you know.
Nah, I agree. Even with Josh Hart, right? Because now, like Josh Hart, if you didn't know, there was a lot to be made about Josh Hart, and he playing the backup four. A lot of Sims playing the backup four. But when I saw Josh Hart play the backup four for the first, this is 5 minutes of the game, it seemed like they was doing something where they was making him the playmaker at the 3-point line, and having like they was playing pick and roll between like him and Hartenstein, and he was throwing the ball to Hartenstein. I was like, interesting. I thought you would go the other way around, like to me it would make more sense.
Maybe they're trying something different.
Yeah. I mean, I guess, Tibbs is trying something different, so I give him credit for that. I mean, also to give him some credit, it worked. Hartenstein scored off of those. But, there was a little bit different wrinkle that I noticed from Tibbs in playing, hard at the floor. So, I mean,
everybody seems a lot loose. Everybody seems not so tense. Yeah, we even seen the Tibbs smile already.
Oh, yeah.
A Tibbs smile.
Yeah, preseason game too.
Early. He got all the Tibbs guys on the court now. Like, everybody plays defense. Except for Evan. Like, everybody. It's mostly Tibbs guys on the team now. So he's happy.
Yeah, you can tell. Even just Julius and Brunson, I felt they were playing a lot looser. The ball didn't stick. I hope that carries into the regular season. Like, I'm not saying that they don't pass, but sometimes they don't do it in the flow of the offense.
I also wanted to ask you, because I do want to ask you guys about the backup four situation with Sims and Josh Hart, but I also want to get to Randall's play as well. But before I get to Randall's play, the Sims backup 4 minutes still worry me a little bit. I still feel like this is not going to be real, and this is only going to be experimental. But there was a lineup with Sims was at the 4, Mitch was at the 5, then we had RJ, and was it RJ and Brunson and Grimes? I think.
Yeah, I believe so.
And there was absolutely no respect for the 3-point shooting when that lineup was in there. Like, there was one play they passed the ball to Sims at the 3-point line, and they were just like, so. They just stood there like, and what you gonna do with it?
Do your thing, man. Do your thing.
Dude, I was just like, and I know he was out there to play defense on Cat, but I'm just like, oh, this ain't gonna work.
That actually was how they was able to get that alley-oop to Mitch, because Rudy was playing so far back. It was a pick and roll. Rudy didn't respect nobody. Mitch, he didn't care. RJ shot it. He stood right in the paint.
Exactly.
Like, all right.
Like, what you gonna do?
But we still got behind him though at that point. Right. That's funny.
You want to say something, Ryan?
Yeah, I just wanted to say, so with the whole Hart and Sims thing at the 4, there's pros and cons to both. But with Sims, I even mentioned it during the last podcast. If you're going to play Sims with either Mitch or Hartenstein, you cannot have RJ Barrett on the court, because if you have RJ Barrett on the court, that's 3 players right there where they're not going to respect their shot, and they're just going to pack the paint and just force the Knicks to shoot.
Yeah.
So the Knicks are not going to get no easy baskets going to the basket, and then on top of that, they're going to be forced to take perimeter shots, and you already know with that lineup, it's not going to be effective.
Nah.
But defensively, of course, Sims can provide, on defense, if for a team especially for a team like Minnesota that has so many bigs that can shoot the ball, Sims is effective in that way where, if he's on defense, he's a big that actually can move his feet on the perimeter and actually put the bigs on the perimeter. But with Josh Hart now, of course, the Knicks are much better offensively. They push the pace. They try to get easy baskets and things of that nature. But then again, there's an issue defensively with Josh Hart at the 4, and Minnesota exploited it in this game because if the Knicks are going against a big team and that big team can shoot threes, there's you can only do so much defending. You cannot defend height.
You can't.
They can just shoot the ball over you.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be an issue for the Knicks going into the season when they play hard at the 4, because if they go up against a big team that can shoot the 3, it's gonna be rough.
The only thing I will say is I feel like in a regular game with regular minutes, Josh Hart would not be guarding Cat. You know what I mean? That's the only thing I will say. I feel like in those moments in real games, Randall would be in the game guarding Cat. And then Josh Hart would be in once Cat goes to the bench. In my mind. Anyway. And I don't think there's that many teams built like the Timberwolves. Like the Timberwolves are really archaic with their like 2 big men lineup thing. Like there's not really a lot of teams like that. So I don't know if we're going to face that problem with a bunch of second units going forward. And to be honest, if Obi was still here, we would still have that same problem. Like, is Obi guarding Cat one-on-one?
Definitely not.
So, I get it. But, I mean, listen, he's not like we losing on rebound because Obi's not playing, or it would still be the same issue to me. Go ahead, buddy.
I was kind of disappointed that we didn't get to see some more of Jacob, because he did play decent defense just to see. I'm not so Roby is
You're not sold on Roby?
No, after summer league and then what I've seen, no, I'm not. He's not the best on defense either. He's really not.
He's a little shaky on defense. What I will say about Roby though, in summer league, I found out he was injured for most of the season, so he was kind of working himself back.
I still don't think.
I'm chewing him some bail. I know. Listen, I know you guys. His last name is Toppin, so he already got like 5+ points.
Not yet. I'm not there, because I think honestly that's those minutes go between Josh Hart, RJ, or Sims,
Right.
A collection. I think in the regular season, like you said, I don't think I don't think they're gonna go much out of that for that spot. Remember, Toppin only got 12, 13 minutes at that spot.
Mm-hmm.
You just got to fill in for those amount of minutes and do it as a committee. So I don't see. I just would like to have seen if he plays that type of defense all the time.
I agree.
Or it was just that one game. So that's all I wanted to see. I'm not on he's better than Obi. He's gonna be the next one. I'm not on it. No, that's not me.
That was crazy. that was people were going off the rails. And I get the excitement. He had a nice dunk. His defense is better than Obi's, but he still has a lot to prove. We can't, Knicks Nation, as a family. All right. As a family, I gotta tell you guys something. And this is the pattern with Knicks Nation. Y'all see somebody play good for a total of 10 minutes and then already declare that he's better than somebody else been playing for 10 years. Like, you need more information before you say things like that. Like, I still remember people, Quickly is better than Brunson. Like, calm down. He's having a good stretch. Brunson was already beating Donovan Mitchell in the playoffs.
Already, yeah.
Quickly, I'm a Quickly fan, but you gotta get more information before you make broad declarations. I don't know. Maybe it's the hot take. Maybe that's what it is. It's the hot take era. Everybody's trying to be the first to make a declaration, but
yeah.
My thing is he seems more of like a tip guy.
Yes, that's for sure.
That's all.
Yeah. And even if Jacob Topper was going off this preseason, like he was having crazy games and things of that nature, just because he's having crazy games in the preseason, you have to remember, it's just the preseason.
Yes.
He's not doing that in the regular season. Like, there's still guys on the Knicks that are seasoned veterans that's been with the Knicks for a number of years, where those guys are solidified and have proven that they can do it in the regular season. Like, for Toppin to even get that playing time, like he's gonna have to go like far beyond crazy.
Yeah, I just want him to. I would like the Knicks to be able to keep him around to maybe use his length. You never know. That's why I want to see, because we're lacking that part, and especially if he could do it on the perimeter. Um, I would give it as an end of a bench. Something of that nature. Situational, kind of like what I would use McBride, because just situational, depending on the game. But Thibodeau's not known to do that.
Yeah, absolutely. Jason and Max, are you guys want to talk about the potential cat trade? Absolutely, we are. Absolutely, we definitely get into that. I just want to give a couple more people some love, and then we about to go talk about cat. All right. We brushed over Dante really quickly. I just want your guys' thoughts on Dante. We've been bottom of the league in steals, and he's in like the 90th percentile in steals. And he showed that today. I really loved his one-on-one defense. He's not that aggressive though. That's not only real thing. Like, did he even shoot a 3 today? I don't even know.
I'm not sure.
I'm not even sure if I see.
I think he did. Yeah, he shot from a corner. I remember he did. Definitely did. He had at least one with the corner from the corner.
Yeah, one. Yeah.
Right, because I'm just looking like, man, we need some. I'm looking for Grimes to get a 3 and shoot. I'm looking for Dante to get a 3 and shoot. Both of these guys are either passing up shots or not even getting the ball. But his defense, though, is really impressive. 2 breakaway dunks off of one-on-one defensive plays from Dante. Really impressive. Yeah, I really like his defense.
I like Nova guys. I like all the Nova guys. I followed them when they were in Nova, so like I know what they're about and what type of players, like their mentality. And I know I spoke to some Golden State Warriors fans, and the one thing they'll tell you about his play is that they say he makes winning plays. That's underrated, because you can count on him. He's going to impact the game in some way. And one thing, New Yorkers are going to love him, put it like that. He's our type of player, hardworking, blue collar, get it out the mud. One thing you're never going to worry about or have to question is his effort. He gives his all every time he steps on the floor. And again, he does the little things great. So he's like a Mitch type defender, you get what I'm saying, as a perimeter, when it just deflections, as you've seen, the steals, the stops. He never quits. Like, I thought that was a block, but they gave it as a steal with the when he recovered, and I thought it was a block, but they didn't give it to him. And I think that he when you have players like that, you can depend on them. It's like over and over. You don't have to worry about what are you going to get. You know what you're going to get.
Yeah.
And with him, he also gives you another ball handler. Also, he can do that sometimes if you need him in spots.
Yes,
it's just like having 2 Josh Harts, but with better jump shot.
It's exactly. It's like having a little 2 Josh Harts. We starting to stack up a lot of these guys now. A lot of these guys who are hard nosed. You don't have to have any questions about the defensive effort, and it's really setting the culture for this team. And it's hard to even think long term, because at some point I know somebody's gonna have to leave. We have so many of these guys. Like it's like see a trade coming.
I don't want to think about that.
I don't want to think about it. I feel like it's preseason. I can see a trade coming. I don't want
to think about nobody leaving.
I can see a trade coming.
Not yet.
But that can lead me. That's gonna lead me into another talk. All right, that's gonna lead me to another talk. Let's talk about the cat in the room. All right. You like that, right? You like that. You like that.
Yeah, it's cool. Cool.
All right. Karl Anthony Towns. Stephen Bondy, right? He reported that the Knicks are keeping an eye out on Karl Anthony Towns. Like, who else are we keeping an eye on? Everybody. We're keeping an eye out on Karl Anthony Towns. I saw some other report that said he's the most realistic to get. So I feel like a lot of Knicks fans are like, he's the most realistic. It's going to happen. We're keeping an eye out. It's going to happen. We kept an eye out on James Harden. I'm just letting you know. We kept the eye on James Harden. Is our eye still on James Harden?
I hope not.
No, it's not. It's not. It's not.
Nah.
I'm going to talk about Ian Begley because when I look at reports, there's a few people that I really look at. I look at Ian Begley. I look at Woj. I look at Mike Soto sometimes. I put him on the list. Shams. Like there's people I really, really take seriously when they say something. Stephen Bonnie, respect you. I feel like this was something drummed up because the Timberwolves are coming to town. And it's like, oh, the Timberwolves are coming to town. Let's throw something out there because the news is going to circulate because he's coming to town. Like, I feel like that's what it really was. And I'm not really sure the validity of it, especially when I just posted a clip from the putback on my Twitter account where Ian Begley specifically said, if the Knicks wanted a cat, it could be done. He said that. If the Knicks wanted cat, it could be done. Check the Twitter, the KOT show. They said that. And he also said the front office isn't uniformly into bringing cat here. Now, I think this is before Rokas was here. You know what I mean? So, but even if he is here, I still think that remains true. I don't really think the Knicks are super interested in cat. But let's talk about hypotheticals anyway, since we here. All right, let's just talk about it. Ryan G, how do you feel about cat coming to the Knicks? I already know I have my very strong beliefs, but what do you think?
Well, with Cat coming to the Knicks, it's one of those moves where it's like you gain something, but at the same time you lose something at the same time. And then you have to figure out, okay, is what you gain worth what you're losing? And with Cat, I don't think it's worth it because with Cat, if Cat was to come to the Knicks, you would assume that Mitch is going the other way. So with Cat being the starting center for the Knicks, offensively, the Knicks would be great. The Knicks would score the ball at will. But the issue would be defensively with Cat here, and I think rebounding as well. Cat can grab rebounds, but I don't think he's as good of a rebounder as Mitch is, even though he averages more. And I think with the Knicks defensively, Mitch does clean up a lot of the Knicks mistakes on the perimeter, where when guards get past, the Knicks defenders on the perimeter, Mitch is there and he kind of like erases a lot of those mistakes and prevents other teams from getting easy baskets. With Cat, defensively is not going to be like that. So the Knicks go from a team that's strong defensively and can score the rock to a team that's going to be able to score the rock, but they're going to have to outscore opponents because defensively they're not going to be as strong as they were before. And I don't think that trade-off is worth it. So in my opinion, I wouldn't go after Cat. And I mean, to be real about it, like, if I had a choice about making a big come to the Knicks, I'd more prefer like an Embiid trade.
Yeah.
And even KP going to Celtics, like I would take back KP over having Cat here as well. So to me, that wouldn't be a positive move for the Knicks, at least not in my opinion.
What you got, Ebony?
Yeah, you spin facts just now. I agree, Ryan. I definitely do. I'm not with the whole Cat to the Knicks either. I think you lose a lot. You gain on the offensive end, but you lose a lot of other things. And also, like you said, defensively, you see that Minnesota just had to bring in a defensive person to put next to him. They sold the whole everything, their whole farm, or gave all the picks, everything they could to get Rudy Gobert here. So so they can move him back to the 4. So what you're gonna have him and Randall 5 and 4? How's that work? I don't see it. So I don't think the Knicks do this. And again, Cat has played with some decent teammates, decent players. So. And he hasn't gotten very far that way either. So what is he supposed to do on a? I call him little kitty cat today because that's what Mitch made him look like.
That's a
You
fact.
seen when he had to play the 5 what Mitch did to him, right? No, I'm good. I need my center to be a center.
In my opinion, Cat is a $50 million third or fourth option.
Okay, I like that.
He's a $50 million third or fourth option. We already have a $30 million third option. So why would we pay more for a third or fourth option? This man cannot bring you to the promised land. The problem with Cat is what Ebony was really saying. It's like, is he a 5? Is he a 4? They brought him to the 4 because he wasn't playing well at the 5. So he's like, you know what? We'll put a guy who blocks shots next to him to, show up his shortcomings. And that didn't work either. So you can't, if you can't play him at the 5 because he's not a guy he's a guy who has a dial-up modem brain on defense, where he reacts so slowly. When guys come to the rim, he doesn't really know how to rotate that quickly. And on top of that, he's too slow to guard fours one-on-one because he's too clunky. So, you can't really fit him anywhere seamlessly. It makes it tough for you. And that's what the Timberwolves are dealing with. And let them keep dealing with it.
I agree.
I'm good. I'd rather have Randall be here. I'm sorry. Cost you less.
Cheaper option too.
Yes. Randall's a cheaper option at the 4. Does Randall give you defensive problems? Yes, he does. He does give you defensive problems. But the thing with Randall is when Randall is locked in, he can actually play defense. For longer stretches of time, he's actually athletic enough to play the 4. Cat is not athletic enough to play the 4, even though that's what he wants to play. So,
and did he touch the post? Did he even touch the post today?
No, he didn't touch the post today. He was camped out by the 3-point line.
I can't.
He has no choice but to camp at the 3-point line because Gobert's in the lineup. They both can't be in the paint at the same time.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's true. But even so, no, because they did play him at the 5 too, though. So I don't know. Cat is not my cup of tea, and I know everybody also mentions Embiid, but like you said, I think Cat is the more realistic because I don't see Philadelphia wanting to trade Embiid in conference. Anywhere near them.
That might be true. I've heard that before, and that might be true. But then I look at what happened to Ben Simmons and James Harden, and I go, how true is it? They traded Ben Simmons to Brooklyn, but maybe they don't respect Ben Simmons, and that could be why. But
I don't know. I think I don't know. I know a lot of people talk about not having to face, to form somebody you just traded 4 times,
right?
Especially if they're the caliber of Embiid, definitely. You already know he's gonna come in there motivated, and you got to face this guy, your rival, on your rival team 4 times. That's not something they want to do.
That's definitely not something they want to do. You're right about that. Go ahead, Ryan.
No, I was just gonna say, but here's the thing: it can happen. But even in those trades, if the Knicks are going to really trade for Embiid, they're going to have to give up a king's ransom for that. Because for Philly to trade within the division,
yes,
the Knicks are going to have to give up a whole lot.
I agree.
For Philly to even consider it.
I guess, but that's the other thing, right? Who has the trade chips to even trade for Embiid if he wants to leave? It's like us. And what, OKC?
You can maybe Clippers. You can even say the Lakers now, I guess.
Did the Lakers have picks? Because that's the thing.
I
If
don't
you
know
want
if
to
they have
restart your
picks.
franchise,
They would have to do the players. I don't think they have. Yeah. So
That's what I'm
Let's see
saying.
who else has
Yeah,
picks.
like Clippers and Lakers would have to include like a third team with like a lot of assets for them to really pull that off. I think Knicks and OKC are probably the top two to have the assets.
That's what I'm
Mhm.
Maybe to
saying.
really go after Embiid if they want to.
That's what I'm
I can't
saying.
remember. There's another team that has a lot of picks that recently that they just collected a lot of picks, and I can't remember who it was. That they have a decent size amount.
Utah.
That I'm be thinking about that.
Utah.
Is it okay? There you go.
Yeah,
There you
Utah.
go.
And it's
There you
like,
go.
how messed up, and this is the thing, and this is what, how messed up would it be to trade Embiid to Utah? Are they going to trade Embiid to Utah?
That's a troll move for real.
Like, come on. It's like, there's no way you can trade Embiid to
With
Utah.
Danny,
No
with Danny
way.
Ainge at that.
No way. No way they traded Embiid. So now you're looking at OKC. That's the only, it's like, would Embiid want to go to OKC? Maybe.
I mean, OKC's not really desirable.
It's like,
But
OKC would have to take a big step this season to be like,
and it also depends on who they would give up. Who they would give up. You
right.
know,
Give him a check
to get there because I think if Shea is still, if he's still there, I think he might depending on if he think he can win with him, he might. You never know what makes these players tick. So he already been to a big city. He might want to go to a smaller one.
No, he might. I think he just wants. He might just want to win. So like when I think of competition and who has the assets, I don't really have a lot of teams in my mind that can really match it. So they can be like, I don't want to trade you to the Knicks, but then if you don't trade him to the Knicks, outside of OKC, you're saying I'm going to take significantly less.
What about Sacramento? I'm not sure of their draft situation, but they have a lot of pieces and young pieces too. That you can throw in there also. I'm not really. I know about their draft picks.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure if they have it, but they have. You got Davion Mitchell over there. You have some people you can throw in. That Harrison Barnes, whatever you need, depending on what they want. But yeah, I think the Knicks have a good chance. We can throw the kitchen sink for Embiid, but who we gonna be left with?
Right. Yeah, I feel like we keep Brunson. I feel like if you keep
that's
Brunson,
the same person.
if you keep Brunson and one young guy, and maybe either RJ or Randall, and then we will re-up on everybody else. That's the way I see it. I don't know. That's
we probably gonna be with it's gonna be a Brunson, probably Miles left and Sims, something like that. They gonna take everything we got.
Yeah, I think Jason and Chad made a good point as well because teams can I think we always go to which team has like the most picks to give up and things of that nature, but it is also possible that they can go to a team where it's like they might give up maybe 1 or 2 picks, but they might give up viable players where they could actually flip in the future to get the assets that they want. And I think Jason made a good point there because that's basically what the Blazers did with the trade with Dame Lillard.
Yes.
They didn't get a lot of picks from the Bucks, but they got back viable pieces that they could flip and get the assets that they need as well. So I think, we look at OKC and the Knicks and we're like, okay, they have a lot of picks. They could possibly trade for Embiid, but I think Ebony made a good point as well. Like teams like maybe the Kings where, they have a lot of like good players on their team where it's like, okay, we may not have the picks to give you, but we give you players that you can potentially flip to get those assets that you would want for Embiid.
But I think that's what makes the Knicks such in a good space too, because we actually have picks, and I feel like you do have players that you can probably flip too. Like let's say like we actually try, because I feel like if Embiid comes, like Mitch is gone, right? Like you can either keep Mitch or you can flip Mitch. Like I feel like Mitch is a guy who's flippable. I feel like IQ could be a guy who's flippable. Like I feel like there's players you can flip on this team. Is what I'm saying. If you want to,
I'm cool with them right now.
Well, I'm just hypothetically speaking. I'm just throwing scenarios out there. It's like it really depends. Like I feel like there's a lot of options. Is all I'm saying. I feel like there's a lot of
Yes. Now
options. Is what
that's
I'm
that's
saying.
one thing I love about I know people get about the front office and their patience. I call it patience because
Mm-hmm.
they haven't done anything that really hurt us bad. So they like not they're not going after everybody to them. You understand? So they be like,
Right.
oh, the front office is not doing anything. But what I see is that they didn't put all the eggs in one basket. It was not we have so many ways you can move. So even if this team doesn't produce the way you think it should, they can move on from here and make
Mm-hmm.
other avenues if need be. I don't remember a time where we had this much flexibility when you think about stuff like that.
I agree. We really been very patient. I think that's why this Donovan Mitchell thing has kind of actually played out well for us because we've been patient. We didn't end up overpaying. Um,
Mhm.
he ended up being a Nick as well. And he at this point, if he ends up being a Nick, it might be even cheaper price than what Utah paid, just because the contract is lower, and now it's like out in the world more so. Like, hey, everybody knows he wants to go to New York, so I mean, this not to say there's other competition for him. Like he probably go to Miami too or something, Brooklyn, whatever. But I feel like the patience might pay off, and we might end up getting him cheaper. We might end up getting it cheaper. Is what I'm saying.
Independent, yeah. Again, you never know what make these players tick. So just the maybe who he's playing with and the chance to go somewhere or be a contender might be enough for him to take a little less.
Right.
How some people have done that. So you never know. Maybe for once we'll get something in Nick's favor. No more Nick's tax.
Please, the Knicks tax is tiring, man. I'm tired of getting charged the Knicks tax over there.
Yeah, that's another thing I like about this front office. That's why when I hear some of I read the articles, but I don't get too high or too low because one thing I've noticed about this front office is they tell you what you want to know, and they keep everything pretty much quiet. So all the I heard, and nothing of the sort happens. You like, did you really hear? So the front office has been very quiet. They don't even talk to us. So how they talking to anybody else?
Exactly. Exactly. Like, shh, don't tell nobody. They don't say nothing, yo. You don't hear
Nothing.
you don't hear nothing. You
But
just
but
wake
I
up
also
one day. It's like, oh, only thing that's what
they
Telegraph was
have
really
some
was
recorded
Jalen
tape.
Brunson. That was
Yeah.
Uh, what I think it did though is it kind of reversed how everybody looks at us though. They know you can't just throw garbage at us once anymore. I think it's reversing that whole thing on and what Knicks is about. Even when if you listen to ESPN, if you watch it, you hear them talk differently about the Knicks. It's more so they're trying to find out what we're really doing and giving us our props a lot of times. I'm like, what? Word? This
yeah.
this a new time.
Yeah, it's starting to trickle in a little
Yeah,
bit.
definitely.
Starting to trickle in
Yeah,
a
look,
little bit. It's
just
even
a little bit.
crazier is people are like uniformly optimistic this year. And this
Yeah.
is the first time I've seen multiple people be optimistic about the Knicks across like the board. It's very weird to see. And I even saw a Tom Thibodeau poll yesterday, or was it this morning, that was positive. It was like, should we resign Tom Thibodeau to the New York Knicks? It was like 753 votes. And I think they said what 50, I forgot what it is, like 55% said yes, 30% said wait, 20% said no. I was like, whoa. I wasn't
Yeah.
expecting that.
Tips has a Tibbs has a lot of he has a lot of supporters. He really does. I see that in when you in the Twitter streets. He definitely does have a lot of supporters. Like I get it. We was mediocre for a long time. You get the one guy that makes you relevant again for a couple of years, maybe not a couple of years straight. Hopefully he starts the couple of years straight. We start this year.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they're gonna hold on to him. To them, he can do no wrong. I'm not a big Tibbs supporter. That's not me.
That's not you. This is funny because oh man, Lee started off a Tibbs hater, and now he's a Tibbs supporter. And
I've
now we
seen
got
that happen.
and now we brought in a new challenger today who's not
You know what it
we
is?
gotta
It's
have
funny
one, well, at
because
least one on the show.
it's funny. It's funny though because I when Tibbs got here, I was all for it. I understood why he was here. You know, you start a new coach, you get a name brand coach to start it off. I get it, and they have the relationships. I absolutely get it. But it's his creativity for me, and his stubbornness and lack of adjustment. So when he first got here, and we got to that fourth seed. I seen a little change in Tibbs. So I'm like, okay, I see you. I gave him a chance. I apologize and everything. And then the next season happened, and I'm like, all right, see, here we go again. Here we go. So then I'm not apologizing again. That's it. It's over.
Oh yeah,
Me and
you
Tibbs.
are, that's what it is. Okay. That's
Mm-mm.
after I forgave him after the bad season. That's what it was for me. After
Yeah,
the bad
I did. And then
season, I was like, you know what? It looks like he's changing now. It looks like we're back on the right track. Last year was last year. This year is this year. So I
I
laid
can't
off
do
the
it. I can't
tips.
do it again. I can't do it again. And plus, like it's
Are you
just
scoring?
I think yeah, no, it's not scoring. It's like the Lauryn Hill song, you know, when she said it could all be so simple, but you rather make it hard. That's Tibbs. That is Tibbs. Tibbs. Like, I don't know, his stubborn to me, a good coach is somebody that takes the strengths of his team and then works around them. To me, it feels like we have to work with Tibbs' strengths.
Yeah, I feel you. You know what I'll say to that? You won't go ahead, Ryan. I feel like you want to say something.
No, all I was gonna say is that me personally, I just base it off of production, the team winning and things of that nature. And at the moment, like I know not everybody is a big fan of Thibs and things of that nature, but at the moment, like there's really no reason to move on from Thibs. You know what I mean? Like, and even last season in the playoffs, I know a lot of people want to blame Thibs for the reason why the Knicks didn't go past the Heat, but in my opinion, it was more than just Thibs. Thibs was not the sole reason as to why the Knicks lost against the Heat.
Yeah.
So for me, it's like me seeing it, I'm like, you know what? I'm willing to give Thibs another season to see what he can do with the team. But that's me personally.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree. I'm not going to get rid of him just cause. I definitely agree. I think to me this year, I think everybody is on can be moved. You know, it's been a couple of years of the same team. I think after this, if you don't show out, you got to move on. That's what everybody from top to bottom, to be honest.
Yeah.
I think this the show improved year.
For me, I think I heard Fred Cat said this. I thought this was like the best argument I've heard about Tibbs and like how he coaches. Most coaches coach a system. Most coaches have like this thing that they're good at and they perfect that. There's only about 3 coaches maybe who are the type of coach that is so flexible that they can just coach any style. And that's like Spolster, Lou, I feel like I'm kidding. But every other coach in the NBA is like a specialist. They're like, I specialize in coaching vets. I specialize in development. I specialize in defense. I specialize in offense. And then the rest of the coaches, like then it's like those few coaches who just like they can adapt to any situation. And so it's like when you say, okay, we're gonna get rid of Tibbs, it's like who are you gonna replace him with? And that's when it starts to get crazy because
Yeah.
he's our third winningest coach in Knicks history. So if you're gonna get rid of him, gotta make sure it's a clear
Yeah,
upgrade and
I
not
get
like the assistant
I
coach. You know what I mean?
I always say that Tibbs might be the coach that you know how they say you crawl before you walk or you walk before you run type of thing. You know, I think he's the coach that we walk before we run. Like our Dwayne Casey,
Mm-hmm.
you know how our Mark Jackson kind of.
Right.
I think I think that it is. I think he can adjust. I like Tibbs. I like the fact that he gets the best most out of his players because they want to show him up and get playing time. They
Right.
want to show them that they're the player that he thinks they're not. Or says he doesn't think they are. I like Tibbs. I just would like him to be more of
Flexible on
instead of having
offense.
so much written scripts, like be more flexible. Maybe sometimes you have to freestyle.
I agree.
Don't wait to the playoffs to play your small lineup. Maybe try that during the season too. You know.
I agree. I agree. And I was hoping to have some of that this season. That's why I even started off the preseason really hyped that Grimes is going to get more freedom. And I have not seen any of that yet. And I'm still mad about it. I told you, y'all saw me the last video. I feel like you've been bamboozled, hoodwinked, led astray. Where is Grimes? How come the ball was not in his hands? The last time, I still remember, preseason game, the first preseason game of the season, third quarter. They told this man before the season started, we're going to give you the ball. And you know what? If you see something, try it out. The moment he did that, the last preseason game, they took him out.
Yeah, he took him out. He did.
Out. So you give my man mixed messages. You tell my man, yo, we want you to be the man. You got the juice now. Get to go to the Rock. Dude, he does it. He messes up. Fine. He's never done it in 2 seasons. It's not going to be perfect the first time you do it. You take him out the game.
He was playing decent before he did it. He was playing decent. Like he was on a little run. He was feeling himself. And it's
and when
so
dudes
you try to do a little extra.
He try to shake up the center. And when when I was in your space earlier and he said that, I was screaming at the computer like, I was so mad when they took him out. I was so mad, yo. I was so mad.
That's funny.
To be fair though, like it's really hard to run plays for Grimes when you have Jalen Brunson, Julius Randle, and RJ Barrett on the court at the same time as Grimes.
No, I agree.
But I do think they can't throw like one, 2, or 3 plays where it's like, okay, have Grimes run off screens or something, and then hand him the ball off the screen, and either if the shot is there, make him shoot, or if he can like drive to the basket and create, then give him the chance to create off of a screen or something like that. Like they can throw in 1 or 2 plays like that for Grimes, even though they have all those players on the court that are like, that like to have the ball in their hand.
And that's the thing. Like during the playoffs, right? Towards the end of the playoffs versus Miami, we started to run Grimes off screens. I don't know if you guys remember. We started to run him off screens towards like the last few games. And I was sitting here like, yo, I was looking for this all season. Now we're trying it in the playoffs. But like I was looking for this like game 32 of the regular season. So
that's all I would like. I would like us to try stuff like that earlier too. Definitely.
For sure. So like I personally felt like, okay, maybe there's hope for Tibbs because you know what? He's trying stuff that I wanted to try in playoffs, but I wanted to try this in the season. So I'm really hoping we get around to running Grimes on screens in the season. I really hope so. I really hope I have seen more. I'm happy that we're doing iHeart setting up the offense from the 3-point line. I'm happy we're doing that. It's getting some off mode movement there. Let's keep that going. Let's keep that going, Tips.
Yeah.
Please.
I like the aggressiveness from iHeart from the top of the key. I do. I like it. He's been making good reads too. So
yeah, we still need more of it.
I like it a lot.
we still need more.
Yes. I think if we put constant more movement in our offense, it's confusing the defense, of course, because now you have to move in thing. And people not trying to do that.
Absolutely.
Fast. They're not trying to do that. I think we saw a little bit of that in the Cleveland situation, how we made make a decision of Mitch or guard the ball.
Right.
Mitch or guard the ball. So when that happens, mistakes are bound to happen. Somebody misses a rotation, something. You move the ball, move the person. Good things happen for you on offense, and bad things happen for you on defense.
Absolutely. Yo, one more question, because I don't know if we already touched on this well enough before we close. Evan Fournier. Has Evan Fournier changed your mind about giving him minutes? See, somebody said Evan Fournier should be starting. Go ahead.
Evan Fournier should not be starting, but but I don't see an issue with making him the 10th man in certain situations, depending on, matchups and things of that nature. Like I wouldn't mind having him, giving him 10th man minutes off the bench.
I agree. I agree. I definitely agree. I think he can do situational, be on maybe a Steve Novak. You need a quick three. You need something. You need to keep a defense honest or something, maybe to help his trade value. But I think he's playing for somebody else's bench, not ours. I think he's playing auditioning for somebody else's bench. But if he is staying around and he can do that, what he did in the game today, hit the shots when he's open, you can't complain about that. But I doubt with all the traffic we have in his position that he sees the floor much.
Yeah. Now, RJ Barrett, right? Tibbs has had success with 9-man rotation. RJ Barrett has seen momentum when he's playing with the second unit. You saw what he was doing with the second unit today. You saw that. You saw that ball that was happening with RJ with the second unit. Are you telling me you're gonna pull RJ away, the second unit, give minutes to Evan Fournier? What you doing?
I don't see it happen.
He shakes his head. I changed my mind.
I don't see it. Now I don't see it happen. That's what I said. I don't see him getting minutes on the court. It will have to be, somebody is unavailable for the game, or it will have to be a blowout, or it will have to a couple of people be unavailable for the game. That's the only way I can see it. Or everybody's just having a crazy game, and Thibodeau is trying to prove something. Pull the starters, or you're not playing. Go ahead, everybody. You guys, but I don't see him.
Man, I've been begging for Tibbs to do that, yo. I've been begging for pull a Popovich for years.
Sometimes needed.
Yeah, sometimes I don't see it. I know why they're doing it now. Hopefully, it's enough. hopefully, it's enough tape that somebody else will be like, okay, Fournier, I see you.
I agree. All right, yo, good show, guys. You guys, if you enjoyed the show, hit that like button and subscribe button for the culture, man. It's Knick Of Time Show. We here giving you that Knicks talk. Just a Knick Of Time. After every post game, we gonna be here, unless something crazy happens, like technical difficulties or something. At least one of us will be here, usually. But if you enjoyed the show, please like that button and share it too, and so we can get get this thing going. And how you happening, man? I felt like she fit like a glove. I'm not gonna hold you.
Thank you. I have fun. Definitely.
Yeah, definitely have fun. Definitely like your insight, your perspective, and man, I'm glad you're on the show. I'm really glad you're on the show.
Right.
Thank you.
Yo, show Ebony some. You like Ebony in the chat? Y'all like Ebony? Give me a hit of one or something. Y'all comatose.
Give me thumbs.
Give some thumbs.
Need some thumbs. Thank you. Appreciate y'all.
Yeah,
some thumbs.
Yeah, some thumbs. But yeah, any last words before we close it out, guys?
I will say this is not basketball related. I don't know why I'm putting myself through this torture, but Giants have been asked this season, like I said, in the previous podcast.
Cheeks. You're right.
This weekend they're going against the Bills with all those injuries. I'm like, I really don't know if I want to watch the Giants tomorrow during Sunday Night Football and just see them get embarrassed by the Bills like that. Because the Giants on national TV it's been terrible all season. So it's one of those things where it's like you want to be loyal, but then at the same time, it's like, do I really want to see that game? Like, do I really?
You gotta protect your peace.
That's
what I'm saying. I'm like, I don't know if I want to watch that game. I really don't know. I might just skip out on it.
Gotta protect your peace.
And me being a Giants fan, I usually don't.
Gotta protect your peace.
Skip on that.
Do you watch
it could be. Yeah, sorry.
Do you watch the Joe Budden podcast?
Sometimes.
All right. Did you see the last episode where they was talking about how Drake left Joe Budden a voice note after he was cursing him out?
I did see that.
And he didn't play it.
I did see that.
He was like, I didn't play that. He left me a 55-second voice note. I didn't play it. You know why? He had to protect his peace.
Yeah, you gotta protect it. I teach my son that. That's serious. This is what I live by. I get it. The Giants I feel like the little Giants of you remember the movie? I'm a big comedy movie nut, so I always go back to
Giants. Yeah.
Yeah, he goes, Giants, help us, God. That's this team. That's this team.
Nah, that's a fact.
But I'm hoping they get it together. I don't know. I'm always trying to keep it on a positive note, but it doesn't look
Hey,
doesn't
man.
look good.
Y'all can make it. We made it through a 17-win Knicks season. Y'all can make it through the Giants in the short season, in the short
Yeah.
football season. All right.
I'm definitely more of a football casual though, but I still keep up with it. Yeah, man. Yeah, I protect my peace. I said I said the Knicks and Liberty are enough
There you
right
go.
now.
And Liberty went to going in the finals. So
Yeah, we not looking. We that on 0-2. We play tomorrow though.
all
Play
right. Well,
tomorrow.
it's comeback season. Let's go.
Let's go.
We gotta make history.
Liberty
We
get
have to
one.
make history.
Exactly.
Facts. Liberty get one.
Just get one game at a time.
One at a time.
One at a
Liberty.
time.
One at a time.
One day at a time, just
Yes,
like Tip said. One day at a time.
One day at a time, one game at a time, because they haven't looked like themselves at all. But we back home, and I think we turn this around. Be the first team to come back from 0-2.
Right.
Facts.
Let's make history. All right, yo. That is our show. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Please hit that like button, subscribe button, and we'll be here talking Knicks after every game. Also, shout out to my girls, Knicks Omni fan. We got the game show, Nick Tacto. I'm still trying to get that next show out. They were traveling and stuff, so the schedule's been all thrown up. But trust and believe that Nick Tacto will be back. So if you want to play Nick Tacto, definitely hit us up as well on Twitter, the KOT Show, or email us at the Knick Of Time Podcast gmail.com. Sure, even hit me in the comments. All right, so that is our show. Thank you guys for watching. We out this mug. Peace.
Peace.
New York, big city of dreams. New York, big city of dreams.